Good morning, YouTube. Farm day. Uh, it's a beautiful Sunday morning. We're over here a little late, but I just got off of a bunch of overtime, so yeah, I slept in today. Anyway, trying to get windy again. We was gonna set this beam yesterday evening, but it was about too windy. A little iffy getting something like that up in the air. Something in my eye. Getting something like that far up in the air, and the wind blowing as hard as it was, because it was whipping there yesterday. Uh, but we're gonna be setting this beam um, on the pole right in there. Now, I got to explain this for anybody that pays enough attention that they're wondering why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the back side of that pole is notched, and the front side of this pole is notched. And the reason that is when these holes was dug, I didn't have them exactly straight in line. My post hole digger was not digging the best because the ground was so hard due to the droughts this summer. So once I got the hole dug, I couldn't make it any this way. So the middle pole there is as far this way out as I could go after I got the hole dug. Did not realize until after it was done. There's a little better ways of doing this. I didn't do it the best. This is the first time I've used round poles on something this large. So it was a learning experience for me. There'll be a few things I change and do different on the next one. But yeah, it's pretty square as far as that goes. But just that pole was setting in a little bit more. There's actually a lot at the top because it curves into it. So when I pulled the string up on top, in order to get that beam running straight, that's the way I had to notch it. As silly as it might look, it's going to get covered by the roof. And you know what? As long as it's solid at the end of the day and square, it don't really matter that much. So yeah, if anybody on here pays that much attention to this. So yeah, we're going to set that one, and then I got to go and pick out the metal truss that's actually going to go on this wide span. This span is 17.5 feet. So I got an 18-foot metal truss that's going to set there. It's going to bolt to that side and then notch and set into this side. But I won't know how to notch it until we get it up there. So the wind's blowing a little bit. I'm going to get Hannah's out of the Tahoe because she's over there eating eggs. And we'll try to get that one set. I'm going to get some screws. We're going to put some screws in for right now. I'm going to eventually put bolts in it like I did on the rest of it. But we're wanting to get this set up, and then we're going to run us a band around everything. Most people run bands around this. First, I'm going backwards. Mainly because I want to see if I can do something and make it work either way. It's just to see if I can do it. So we're going to run in the bands. We'll put a couple bands up around everything to keep it from shifting, and then we'll start squiring for our trusses, or not our trusses, our rafters. And we'll start putting the rafters. If I can get it marked for the rafters today, hopefully I can start actually cutting out for the rafters tomorrow and the next day, because I'm off those 2 days before I go back to work. So yeah, that's happening, hopefully. And I really want to try to get a roof on this before the end of the year, because, and everybody's like, oh yeah, you can do it, no problem. Well, there's always something that comes up. Always, whenever I get in a rush. So I'm trying for before the end of the year to get this thing roofed and boxed in where I need it boxed in, so that we usually don't get our snows around here till after the first of the year, usually January, February time frame. That way there's no real heavy snow on it first. But when I do start the roof, I'm going to start from that end and work my way back out this way. That way, if nothing else, my motor and my carriage and everything will be covered, even if I don't get it finished to the end. So I'll at least have it under some sort of shelter to start out with. Um, and if anyone wants to know why we went this high, I don't know. I don't know. It was going to be higher on the fact of for ventilation. You know, you get the sawmill motor running and everything, things get hot. So I said, well, I want it taller. But the more I look at this thing, I think I might have just went just a tad bit too tall, maybe. I mean, literally, there's enough room above the mill to put a second floor in here, honestly. I mean, you figure the carriage, top of the carriage is right there. You come across, that's a good 5 foot on the low side as far as top of the mill. So I mean, there's if you went up, you could easily go up 4 feet from the top down and have 4 foot knee walls and come over, and that right there would be almost 6.5 foot to the top. So that might be a future thing. Who knows? If I get to where, you know what, I'd really like to have an upstairs in this thing. I got the room. All right, Mama. You ready?
Not really.
Gotta really trust your wife to do this. we got to make a run to Tractor Supply. I need some lag bolts and anchor this thing down. I'll show y'all guys what we got. That is originally, best I was told, was a floor truss. But we're using it as a place to set the rafters on. This span is so large, it's 18 feet. And I ain't cutting no 18-foot long stuff right now because I just don't have the length of log right at the moment. So that right there should work beyond good. But we got it notched over there on the bottom side in there, and it slid into a notch. I got it braced and it's sitting on that notch. But I got to get a spacer. I'm going to get a wooden spacer and put it right in there before I lag bolt it in. I'm going to get some long lag bolts and bolt it back to it. That was a little space that was from the original, and I didn't, it worked out good for the length we needed. So that's what we got right now. Get those bolted down solid, and I got to do a little adjusting to that middle one. I got to shove it a little bit one way because it's not perfectly straight, but it's all in the middle. Once I get that done, we'll be able to put our marks and start our rafters. She looks happy, does she? Alright, anyway, we're going to run Tractor Supply, so this will probably be it for this video, because it's just going to be finishing up that what we just said, just putting the bolts in, putting that spacer in. Like, subscribe, all that good jazz. And if you want to see anything else, we got some other sawmill stuff on here. Go check that out. Alright? See you guys. Goodbye.